Hello and welcome to Grammar Quickies with Grammarlicious. That's me. Today we will be talking about indirect objects to kind of go along with our lesson last time from direct objects. So we're going to go ahead and do the process for finding a direct object first, which is you find your subject and verb, which the verb is baked. Who baked? Mom baked. So I'm going to go ahead and label these as we go along. Subject, verb, mom baked. And now we're going to find the direct object, and that's where you ask who or what after the verb. So we say, Mom baked what? So hopefully you're not going to say him. Mom didn't bake him. What did Mom bake? She baked a cake. So this is our direct object. Now what we do to find our indirect object is we ask to who or for who after the direct object. So what that means is Mom baked a cake for who? She baked the cake for him. So this is our indirect object. So many students have trouble with indirect objects because it can be really confusing. Let's look at this next sentence. This is the same sentence but worded another way. My mom baked a cake for him. So we already know Mom baked is our subject and verb. Our direct object is still cake. Mom baked what? Cake, direct object. Now, I know I said you ask for or to who after direct object, but look at this. So this says for him, so you're thinking, oh, this is the indirect object. No. The important thing to know about indirect objects is they always, listen to what I'm saying, always between your verb and your direct object. This is where you will find your indirect object, always between the verb and the direct object. So what we have here between this verb and direct object is just the word a, and this is not an indirect object. So what that means for this sentence is this sentence has no indirect object. And you're saying, but wait, what about the for him? This is another phrase altogether for a different lesson some other time. This is not an indirect object. The word to or for will never appear in front of an indirect object. As you see, it does not here. So with that in mind, now let's look at our next sentence. I wrote you a letter. So we're going to find our verb, wrote, who wrote, I wrote. So this is our subject, verb. I wrote what? Letter. So this is our direct object. I wrote a letter to who? I wrote it to you. And I'm going to look, here's my verb, here's my direct object. You is between them. So yes, this is my indirect object. Okay. So now let's look at the next sentence. It's the same sentence, but worded differently. I wrote a letter to you. So we already know I wrote is our subject verb. I wrote what? Letter. That's our direct object. And when we look between our verb and our direct object, we only have the word a. This is not an indirect object. This to you, this is something else entirely. This can't be an indirect object because it's not between your verb and direct object. Okay? So that is our lesson today, indirect objects. I am Grammarlicious, and stay tuned because I'm going to be doing some lessons for your English ACT coming up next. Bye!